How's everyone doing? It's been a minute. I just wanted to hop on here for a bit and just get something off my chest. So I'm just having my, you know, cold iced coffee. It's not that bad actually. I was never a fan of it, but it depends on what type of coffee you go for. So I'm still working on this project. The funny thing is, um, I've come to this realization of the direction I want to take this project. So I had an idea that it was going to be a cowboy themed Wild West thing, but this is more corporate. I feel like I was on my way to the gym and I thought about it and I was like, how could I do something that could be radio friendly and really overcome the negativity? So, as you've seen in my previous lives, very rage filled, very intense, right? So, I still have that energy, but I've been writing some stuff, without any of the instrumentals, and I've been kind of coming up with really getting to the heart of it, talking about, we've already explored my past and my experience and my struggles, and I kind of get into the nitty gritty with that, with the combination of the new stuff, with my successes or where I'm at. So it is a convergence of both styles, from the earlier stuff that you've seen from Refugee, Rhyme and Reason, and Rise of the Dragon, to the newer stuff from Superstar Academy, to The Dragon Returns, to The Dragon Continues, to Athar, which is the Arabic EP. And now this project is like taking the best of all of that and just putting it in this hodgepodge of a, beautiful mess, or a hot mess, but very structured still. So definitely going to have a corporate tone to it. It's still R&B/hip-hop, but it's just more structured and more emphasizing on the storytelling of, because I do have stories to tell and stuff that I don't shy away from, and really being honest. And I want to make sure I'm not, trying to fool anybody here, including myself. Um, all I can say is get ready for this one. It's going to be a good one. I just wanted to I don't know, I think it's more of I do all my talking through my music and through my content. I mean, I've said what I had to say and I'll continue to say what I have to say, but you know, being where I came from, third world country, and living a decade in poverty filled, you know, just this world of just a completely different world of where I'm at right now. So um, now some people may ask, what are you willing to achieve with this project overall? Um, I just want to be able to put forth the 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 remnants, or the just filling the gaps. Really, I'm just bridging the gaps, just scourging or scouring the little bits and pieces of me that I've managed to expose with my other stuff. So um, there's a comprehension here. There's a comprehensiveness of you know different topics and why I felt a certain way, and what made me who I am. Because you are getting bits and pieces of me with every single project. You are getting an insight of how I think and how I express my creativity. So this is definitely something for the imagination. It's definitely something that could fuel one's creativity. I know that word gets tossed around. Creativity this, creativity that, content creating, blah, 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 all that good stuff. But, there's certain memories I still have in my head from 30, 20, 10 years ago that I'm pouring into this project and expressing it in the best way possible and presenting it in the most professional way that I've ever presented something. And this will coincide with my extended edition from my books, along with the short film, which I will turn into a novel. So you'll kind of have a comprehensive world, like a little universe here that, just to kind of give an aspect of how I think and how I put forth some things, you know. I don't know. I'm just getting to this point where there's more stuff I'm pouring on the page and I'm structuring it and all this, but I don't think this project's going to come out anytime soon because there's a lot of stories to tell. There's a lot of characters to explore. There's a lot of expansion on certain things. A masterpiece takes time. So I'm not rushing anything anymore. I remember I used to be rushed into doing stuff, and all I got was just quality over quantity, I guess. But I'm very sorry. Like I said, this is one of those situations where it's very delicate for me. And with this project has been very mentally and emotionally taking away from me because I'm revisiting some stuff that really unpacking a lot of stuff that's buried in there, in here, and exposing to the world. But I'm being very careful in a way. God hides a lot of things for a reason, for our own safety, and I want to kind of acknowledge that. I don't want to really get deep into certain things. I know a lot of artists out there, they go super personal and they cause a lot of trouble for themselves and for their close ones. But, I believe my story deserves to be told, and I feel like everything you saw before was just a more pageant. It's like a pageantry version of, it's like a glamorized version of me as a refugee or immigrant. I'm not saying it was fake or phony, but like this one is gonna really, I think you're gonna see a side of me you've never seen before. I'm gonna say some stories, tell some stories that is gonna make you look at me a little differently. And my family, my friends, they look at me one way and they think I play it safe, and they think, oh, I'm just Omar, just talking my shit, or being an artist. But there's some layers of there's so many things that I'm going for that's gonna make people look at me differently. You're gonna be judgmental if or when I say these things, because my intention with this album, it's kind of a confession of my wrongdoings, maybe, or mishaps, or the mistakes I've made, or the mistakes I still continue to do. What's that thing about pushing the envelope just so you can get attention? But also there's a community feel. There's a sense of appreciation of where I'm at right now. So how far I came to now, and I'm wearing a black shirt today because It's symbolic. This color scheme, simple black t-shirt Omar, is someone who I used to be 20 years ago, 21 years ago, whatever. It's a frail, pale kid with nobody to look over him. Just minding my own business. Like I said, I've come to this realization that, I can say I'm the best, this and that. I'm very confident with myself now. But this album, what I've been writing, what I've been getting at, the stuff I've been coming out, just remembering, like my friends there, my family there. It's I'm so glad that I'm able to say what I really need to say, because you haven't seen anything yet. You thought you've seen it all from me, but there are things that's gonna make you look at me differently. Because I will confess on a few things, and trust me, you might not like what I say. I'm a firm believer of there's strength in silence, but there's also strength in telling the truth. And, I come here to say what I need to say to build up towards this project, and I keep it as transparent as possible, but what's that saying about the weakest one in the room being the loudest? I see a lot of fake people who pretend to be all that when they're really nobodies. I see a lot of people talking, but they don't do anything. They're not about the action, and I've dealt with people who are about the action. Scumbags, people who, quite frankly, as a human being, they're the worst. But there's one thing I did learn from people like that. If you feel like you don't have anything to prove, you have nothing to prove. A lot of fake phonies out here talking about men's mental health and all this stuff, all this other shit, and then they're the same people that will comment on your post some weird insult. But that's not relevant, because those people are not relevant. I think that the people that want to make my books or my content a spectacle, that they want to think it's a joke, that's their opinion. I don't care. But other than that, we're talking about this project. Understand what MCO stands for. Master of Ceremony Omar, Master Champion, Master Class. It can mean many things. It's a name of multiple meanings. The MCO. It's a brand. It's a company. It's a corporation. It's everything that I said I wanted to be. And I am. Because for me, the MC Obnoxious character is nothing more than a caricature. That's a part of me, and I'll be proud of it. Wear it mask and all. Doesn't matter. Soon Tylenol. Cheesy hip hop wear and all. Everything. But like I was saying, some people, they talk, but they don't walk it. They say they're entertainers, and they say they're artists or whatever, but don't believe the hype. Because I created this. I made these people. The people that came after me. All thanks to me. You're welcome. I'm here with my plain black t-shirt. I'm not dressed up. I'm not, you know, trying to be a mob boss or anything. I'm not trying to pretend or put on a front. If you ever heard of the artist Gutta King Chris, local artist here in Ottawa, there's a verse on the song Gas. It goes something like, gas mode, eyes low, fast forward, wherever I go, I'ma solve the issue. No stunting on the internet. Yeah, something like that. Something about the wave. And that verse is pretty cool. Check it out. Some people might think he's talking about taking substances or whatever, but he's actually talking about substance, something of substance, of how you live a life of being low key, being very subtle, and all that hoopla shit I can do. But when you do it off stage, and what kind of example are you setting? Really? Like, you can be a clown on stage, but can you be a clown off stage too? It's possible. Because these entertainers, they pretend to live the gimmick, but it's all fake. It's all phony. This is coming from me, a guy who wears a mask on stage. I will admit that I wear a mask and do this and that. Like, that's not the point. That's a caricature. That's a character I'm playing. It's pretending. Grown up pretending. Grown-ups pretending, But some people who have no accolades, who have no content, who have nothing to offer, when you Google them, you don't find anything pleasant about them. Why? Like why are you doing this? I get on here on the pulpit, or whatever you want to call this, on my little soapbox. I'm trying to rant or whatever. But when you really think about it, and it's an issue that's been bothering me for weeks now, which is why I'm writing this project. How come there's people out there that talk a lot, but they don't do much, people who do the most are the ones who do the less. People who say the most are the ones who do the less. I'm not trying, I have every right to brag. I have every right to talk my ish, I've seen it all. But this has been bothering me. It's been on my mind. Like, it's been running in my head rent free, just bouncing off my head, bouncing off the skull of my cranium, or my cranium inside my cranium. It's just been like boom, whiz, inzar, Devil does that. I didn't understand it because a few days ago, I'm telling you, something happened. Something happened that made me realize, wow. I don't know if it was a few days ago or last week. I'm not too sure, but it's like certain people behave weirdly, like when guests are around, or you're just like, man, how the mighty have fallen. I'm still trying to comprehend it. I'm still trying to put a finger on it. Just write it down. I'm gonna scribble something in my little notepad, and you know, it's like someone said, Ajib, right? Wondrous. I'm a busy man. Like I'm out here doing my thing. You know, I go to the gym, I work there, whatever. Just mind my own business, hydrate, don't listen to what anybody has to say. I'm capable. I'm not that same meek, timid kid I was 20 years ago. And I do it for him. I do it for that. I do it for my inner childhood, my inner adolescence, my inner young adult. I do it for me. Because I'm him. I'm that person. Plot didn't change. The plot didn't change. The direction did. This is what I do. I'm a writer. And I'll always be a writer. This is my profession. This is my career. This is what I make money off of. This is how I feed myself. You know, this is how I put food on the table. And people want to laugh at it, think I'm a pencil pusher. Really? You think I can't do labor work or other shit like that? I'm just live streaming here, talking my ish. You know, I'm just here coming to that realization that all of that pomp and circumstance doesn't impress me. You know, you really want to impress me? Pull a plot twist. Pull a plot twist in your life. You know, just sacrifice everything that you have for your passions. That's how you impress me. Whether it could be like in sports or animation or drawings or sketching or illustrating or basketball or whatever the case may be. If you really want to impress me, go 100% on that. Gas to the, pedal to the metal, foot on the gas, not stop. Just say, you know what? I'm in my 20s and 30s and 40s or whatever. I'm just going to throw it all away, put all of this thing into my passion. And even if I fail, I'm going to look back and say, you know what? I was satisfied with my life. Where I'm at right now is beyond satisfaction. Like I said, I wanted to come here. I came here. I came, I saw, I conquered. I definitely reached my goals. I got the Bowflex body I wanted. I'm not even talking just on a physical level, but like mentally, I'm here. I got my own place. Very grateful for it. I was able to be artistically capable of putting out content, to a point where I'm in the process of doing an extended edition for those books and a short film that's written by me, acted by me. I have an IMDb, a demo reel. Like I've achieved a lot in the past 3 years. And some people, they just say they don't have time to do the stuff. You got to make time. If you really want to do something, you got to make time. So enough of this whole, I don't care if you're working a 9 to 5, 40 plus hours a week. If you love what you do, good for you. You've succeeded. You already won. You have nothing to prove. You don't have to do anything. But if you don't love what you do and you say, make all these excuses and, you know, what are you doing on the weekends? It's kind of like the Tyrese Gibson video. Um, Screw all these clubs and these partyings, and they're not going anywhere. Trust me, I've been there. I had my fair share of partying. It was all right, It's not my, vibe, but I still managed to pull through with during my college days, during Algonquin with the Dream Team. And there's a few people that can attest to that who I've reconnected with. Uh, you know, some got into real estate, some people got into acting. Like one of my, my group members, he became an actor. He has like a whole profile on IMDb and all that. See, when you pursue, and some people became musicians, like, they got into being DJs and producers and stuff. See, when you pursue your passion and you love what you do and you work that 9 to 5, it doesn't feel like a job. And when I do what I do, I make a decent amount of money. I love what I do. That's all that matters. This is part of what I do. I come in here. I come in here because this is important. This is to boost up my channel. I'm all about that. There are people that are growing old, and their dreams are just fleeting them. And all they did was just work themselves to the ground, all because of money. That will disappear in a few days after, doing grocery shopping, because grocery is too expensive nowadays and they get taxed on it and all that stuff. Like, I don't understand. The person that really wants to pursue their dreams are the ones who will actually pursue their dreams. And there's a few people that, in my eyes, they're lost cases. Waste, man. Wasted potential. That could have been great. Could have been greater than me. Well, like, I swear to God, Wallah al-Azim, if some people played their cards right, and some have and achieved more than me, they would have been one of the greatest. History making. Even myself. But I'm saying, I'm already great. But I'm saying, like, I would have, from an international, if we're going to measure it on international, if we want to measure fame, if that's even a thing, everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame. Even I did. I've seen it. I've been there. I've dealt with big names. I've communicated with people, and everybody's, they're vibing, they're not going anywhere. I don't brag about it too much, knowing this person or that person and what type of relationship I had with this, battle rapper or whatever, or this rapper or this singer, Trust me, it's, I've seen it. I've seen it all. Or when they were on the come up and now they're big, whatever. All I can say is this, and I'll leave it at this. I'm going to end the stream right now. If you truly want something, I'm talking to you. If you truly want something, you make time for it. And the thing is, I don't care if you're working a part-time or full-time job or an entrepreneur or entertainer or a mogul or whatever, you make time for what you love to do, what you want to do. And if you don't make time for it, then you never loved it in the first place. You never had the intention to make your own, to be your own boss. You never had the intention to follow your passions. Because even if, let's say, you do follow your passions, you do sacrifice your money, and you get into, let's say, bodybuilding or whatever the case may be, or sports or basketball or illustration or dancing or whatever, understand this. You're going to get mocked. You're going to be laughed at. You're going to be disrespected. You're going to have people talk behind your back. You're going to have people making group chats just to take you down and campaign against what you do. But then what? That's only a day of roasting and ribbing, and then the next day y'all going to forget about it. Doesn't matter. Because they're going to keep talking and talking and talking while they wither away with their age. Next thing you know, they're single mothers, or they're single dads or single mothers because their significant other fucked them over or screwed them over. And yeah, I'm going to curse because their life is cursed. But look at me, I'm blessed. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do 20 years ago. Exactly, if not more. I had my 8 Mile moment in Cornwall. I had these great moments that I've highlighted in my career thus far. And this is only the beginning, 10 years in the form. You've seen me in my formative years when I was learning this stuff, when I was connecting with people who knew how to perform and knew how to do this and that. All I can say is this. The people that are throwing shade or they're hating on me or they think I'm broke and I'm poor and I don't have enough money to do anything, in reality, they don't know what I report. They don't know who I work with. They don't know the type of businesses I run. They don't know the type of entrepreneurship I'm part of or the internships that I'm part of from certain companies. They don't know who I'm dealing with, what type of meetings I have. And it's all great. It's all blessed, I've been having a lot of progress with certain companies and stuff like that. And certain people I work with, certain specialists and whatever. But people want to judge. People want to think I'm like some sort of like moocher, the moocher. But I'm not. I'm not mooching off anything. And whether I mooch or not, like it doesn't really make a difference because everything's so expensive nowadays. And ever since the lockdowns and stuff, things really skyrocketed. People are, and there's no, like, you can't make that argument anymore because everything just kind of shifted, like you could make a case out of it, like even before, but even then, when I was working these big name jobs, when I was working for the hotel and when I was working for certain companies, like big name corporations and making good money, which I still do, by the way, people are always going to throw shade at the marketing and communication specialist. The most disrespected executive, the most disrespected figurehead in the company is the marketing department, not HR. HR is well revered. If you're in HR, if you're in like database entry and all this stuff, if you're into like the practical stuff, you're looked at as if you're a beneficial cog in the wheel. Let's say you work for the government in that field. But if you're a marketing and communication specialist like myself, who is a copywriter and an editor and writes for the websites and a journalist in a way, if you're someone like that who makes advertisements and promotions and makes sure that the product and the service is presented in the best way possible, it's like laughed at or scoffed or brushed aside because it's not a real job or a real career. And I'm not even, I didn't even discuss the artist part of my side, which I'm an artist, an actor, a singer, and all this stuff. That's the hobby side of things. Like if they're already laughing and mocking my career and this thing I studied in college and I graduated from, and I graduated with a good like degree. Like I graduated with, an advanced degree. I have, awards, certificates, you name it. And people are still laughing and mocking at that, which means that it's all of this stuff. Like I could be the president, I could be a president or a prime minister, and I'm still going to get laughed at and disrespected. because people want to talk and they want to laugh and they want to make fun of stuff and they want to roast people and think it's a joke. Like, that's all because they have nothing. Because people like that have nothing in their lives. They're going to their miserable jobs. They're working their 9 to 5s, Mondays to Fridays. They're working stuff that they don't love. If they work stuff that they loved, then they succeeded. They succeeded more than me. I will be the first one to say that. But trust me, the people that are flexing, what are you doing? Like, I'm not impressed. Like, this stuff doesn't impress me. And I've seen people turn to that side just to spite me. And I've seen people turn on their own principles and think that they're all cool and whatever. And they go out when in reality, they're miserable. They're always cooped up in their room in their weird little corners. Like, this is real life. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's all to spite me. It's all to make me look bad. It's all to kind of get under my skin. But in reality, I take all that negative energy and I project it here for this channel. Because this channel, this is how you get content. This is how you get viewership. People love the drama. People love the negativity. So, but I do it in my little world here. Through music, through acting, through whatever. That's my way of acting out. Literally. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way because I used to be such a hothead. And I used to be such, like, I'm still a hothead. Like, I'm passionate. I wouldn't say I'm a hothead, but, like, I used to have a lot of anger issues. But now I've resolved that thanks to art, music, acting, martial arts, all of this stuff. If it weren't for all of this stuff, we wouldn't be here having this conversation. At the end of the day, I do everything for the sake of this channel, for the sake of my brand, and all this stuff, trust me, writing it down. This is what I do. I write about these things, whether it be in a poem form, in a poetry form, in a short film, in a novel, whatever the case may be. This is how I exercise these demons. This is how I expel all this negative, toxic garbage that people are throwing and hurling my way because they have nothing. I'm a grown man. I'm 35 years old. I'm too old for that. There's people like they're well into their 40s and 50s and they're still on this weird vibe because they think, and I'll tell you why, because they're trying to make up for what they lost. And they're like, oh, I have the ability to do it, so I'm going to do it because I have a lot of money to do it. Because they have the financial capability. When you have a lot of financial capability and a lot of financial freedom, you're going to do everything that you missed out on. And you're going to double it by 11 and you're going to times it by 10. While at the same time, you're going to look stupid because you're a 40-something or a 50-something idiot who's flexing for no reason. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm 35 years old. I'm 35 years young or 35 years old or whatever you want to say. I don't care. I don't care about these things. Like, I can make fun of my hairline or my little chubbiness or whatever. I'm telling you, I've come a long way. Come a long way. I had to build myself literally from the ground up. The people you can ask people there, my friends there, they'll tell you, man, Omar's come a long way, man. He used to be shy and timid and very meek and to the corner, but now he's like, even my uncle, I remember, told me that, like, now you're like normal, he said. I thought that was pretty funny. And he gave me like a hug and he was right. Like, I'm not disagreeing with him. Like, I'm not disagreeing. I agree. Like, I was very to myself and private and like, oh, I ain't a day I can't eat and oh, how dare you, But now, but again, like, I'm telling you, and this was 10 years ago when I went to Lebanon, the last time when I went to Lebanon. Like, can you imagine now? It's like, it's like, I'm telling you, godly flow. Like, God is putting me on this flow. This is his flow. This is his this is his Mashiach, and this is his will. You can't deny that. So the people that used to throw tomatoes at me are now praising me. The people who used to pick on me verbally and say, oh, I'm not strong enough or confident enough. You don't know me. You don't know what type of businesses I run. I'm talking the art scene. You know, that's what I'm running. You don't know the type of respect I get. You don't know the fact that I've been on TV a couple of times. I've been on the radio multiple times. Check the record. You might not have heard of it, but that's because I don't promote it a lot, and I don't need to promote it a lot. I've done my fair share of social media. I can do my social media stuff, but you've seen this. You know this. You know how much of a figurehead I am here. And I'm not saying I'm like the most respected one. But this is why these people are attacking me, because they're nobodies. You Google them. I literally Googled a few of them, and I didn't find anything about them. It's either something very disappointing and disrespectful, or something that doesn't exist at all. You claim you're rising from the ashes and you're resurrecting yourself, but what's the point? What's the point of all that when you have nothing to resurrect with? You're just resurrecting as a nobody. You're just coming back as a nobody. And you'll always be a nobody, especially at this age. Because when I was your age, when I was certain people's ages, I was already killing it. I was already learning and been thrown to the sharks. I've learned from the best. I've learned from the best writers, the best poets in the city, or from Montreal, from Toronto. You know, I've been around. So when people start to say weird stuff, I've had the opportunities offered to me to perform in Montreal, in Toronto, whatever, and I've been there, done that. You know what it is, man. And people want to laugh at it and think it's a joke and I'm such a wannabe or a poser, or like I'm trying to be a wannabe rapper at the age of 35. Like, when, or asking me if I still rap, or, you know, have you not been keeping up in what I do? So what if my singing sucks? I sing at a karaoke level. It's not like I want to be like, if it does happen, cool, but I sing at a karaoke level. I'm an entertainer. I make people laugh. I make people happy. I entertain them. That's what I do. I make people feel. I tell stories, you know, which some people might do it off the record, but then are they remembered? No, they're remembered for being idiots. They're remembered for being morons and embarrassing. At least if you want to embarrass yourself on stage and be happy about it and take it. But for me, I can say this humbly. I've been embarrassed on stage, off stage. I took L's, took W's, you know, when you're in your 20s, you're learning. Even now, I'm still learning. Like, you're not too old for that, but like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not impressed. And it's not a personality trait. It's just you projecting because your life has gone to shit. That's all I gotta say. And I will say it. Anybody who acts out like that, like an idiot and like a moron, doesn't fucking impress me. And I'm not impressed. Wallah al-azim, I'm not impressed. The only person that impresses me is myself. I impress myself. So when you have people out here banging their chest and yelling and hee-hawing like donkeys, like jackasses running around Zay al-Hamir, like hisht, yani, hish, she. Give me a stick so I can do this. Hish, she. Hish, she. Like, it's like, for real. You're a human being, you know. And I'm frustrated with that because it's like, man, damn, like, holy crap, we got to that level, eh? Anyways, on that note, I know I was supposed to end this like 15 minutes ago or whatever. I said I was going to end this stream, but trust me, now I'm like motivated more than ever. I don't know if it's from the caffeine or whatever, but dude, like, there's a reason why I'm doing this project, and it's because to stop the hee-hawing of the donkeys out there and the mules because that's what they are. They're mules. They're not birds. They're not phoenixes. They're not, you know, Pegasuses. They're not, you know, hydras. They're not dragons. They're not any of that. They're just mules and donkeys that like to kick themselves in the ass. So that's all I gotta say, man. Like, I could flip out and be angry and be upset and rant and rave, but I just wanted to let people know, and let myself know mostly, that the moral of the story is you gotta come to a realization of yourself. And this is what I was saying at the beginning of the video, if not halfway. You have to have a realization of what you want to do in life. Do you want to pursue your passions? Do you want to invest your money and all of your money and sacrifice for your passions and your time and this and that? If you're already practicing your passion, good. Hey, you already won. But the moment of realization right now, billahi alaykum, yani, for honest to God, as God is my witness, are you doing what you love to do? That's all I'm asking. If you're doing what you love to do, I don't care what you do. If you're not doing what you love to do, this is what this channel is for. It's to motivate you and to give you some advice, life advice, real life experience from a immigrant refugee like myself, who's a Canadian citizen, second generation citizen, might I add, second generation immigrant in Canada. This is your life, you know. This is your life, you know. You only can spend it the way you want to. So stop trying to placate to others. Stop trying to waste time and chase money for others because you don't want to hear someone say, "Oh, you're single? Oh, your girl left you? Oh, how much money do you make? Oh, do you have a car? Or do you have a house? Are you living by yourself or with your family?" You know, don't listen to all of that. Just be real with yourself. Do what you need to do. Stop the flexing. Stop all of this garbage that you do. I'm here to advise people. I'm here to mentor people because I'm worth of mentoring people. I try to get people under my wing because I know what the hell I'm talking about. And when people say stuff like get good and you're not giving advice, when I gave them free game, they never listened to me. They threw it back in my face, and look at them now. What are they doing? Nothing. And they'll always be nothing without me because I made them. I made these people. And I will say it loud and proud. I will say it to the face of these people. I made you. I made you. If it weren't for the dragon, there wouldn't be anything. You wouldn't have had that fire or that passion. And this is what I am. This is who I am. And I'll always be this. What you see off camera is what you see on camera. It's the reality. This is real stuff. This is real life. But I'm saying one more time for the people in the back. If honest to God, nobody really cares. They will use 15 minutes to talk crap about you, and then they're going to move on with their miserable lives. For all the single mothers out there and the single fathers and these weirdos that are prancing around in their 40s and 50s, going to nightclubs and drinking their heads off and thinking that this is how you socialize and live life when it's garbage, you know? You know how you live life is doing what you love to do and making money off of it like I do. That's how you live your life. And just a side note here, everything that I said here, everything that I'm saying in these live streams and my music and my acting has been nothing but consistent. I've never strayed off from the plot. It's here. The plot always wins. The dragon will always be here. Understand that. Just something I wanted to get out of my chest before I leave and get ready for a certain event later on. So yeah, the takeaway is realization. Realize what you want to be. Be yourself. This money shit is not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to pay off your groceries and the food that you need and just your basic needs and whatever. And that's it. That's what money's used. So all this flexing doesn't mean shit to me. It's all up here. And I know it's cliche. I know people say, you know, oh, you're just being a very righteous person. Not being a righteous person. Like I said, I have my mistakes, I have my flaws, and you're going to know about it in my project. You know, you're going to know a lot about me. You're going to look at me differently. And I guarantee you, you thought you're looking at me a funny way? Bro, you and me, we're not the same. We are not the same, and we will never be the same. That's all I got to say. So take that as you will. And if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be who you are. Just saying. I'm the walking example, and I'll always be the walking example. And I will always be the walking example, and I will take pride in that. And don't try to like look at it funny or whatever. And you know what? Don't let people, and here's an advice for the youth or whatever. Don't let people shame you for caring about yourself and being selfish. Me. Yeah, you damn right. And I take pride in it. I will step on you to get to what I want. And I will say that with a full face of conviction. I will step on you to get to what I want. And you know what? If people tell you who they are, believe them and believe me. I will tell you face to face. It's a cutthroat business out here, and my mindset is 100% corporate. Human are resources. It's not about human resources. It's about humans are resources. You got to take advantage of their minds so they can take advantage of your mind and pick each other's brains out. It's a mutual agreement, you know? So that's all I got to say. All I got to say is Dragon Forever, live on.